Russian-European Union relations are the international relations between the European Union and the largest country in Europe, Russia. The relations of individual member states of the European Union and Russia vary. Though a 1990s common foreign policy outline towards Russia was the first such EU foreign policy agreed. Furthermore, 4 European Union-Russia common spaces are agreed as a framework for establishing better relations. The latest EU-Russia strategic partnership was signed in 2011. But it was later challenged by the European Parliament in 2015 following the annexation of Crimea and the war in Donbass. Russia borders 5 EU member states: Estonia, Finland, Latvia, Lithuania and Poland. The Russia-Ukraine gas dispute of 2009 damaged Russia's reputation as a gas supplier. After a deal was struck between Ukraine and the EU on the 23rd of March 2009 to upgrade Ukraine's gas pipelines, Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin threatened to review Russia's relations with the EU. If Russia's interests are ignored, we will also have to start reviewing the fundamentals of our relations, Putin stated. According to Russian Energy Minister Sergei Smako, the plan appeared to draw Ukraine legally closer to the European Union and might harm Moscow's interests. The Russian Foreign Ministry called the deal an unfriendly act. Professor Irina Bizyganer of the Moscow State Institution for Foreign Relations has said that Russia has better relations with certain leaders of some EU countries than with the EU as a whole because the EU has no prospect of a common foreign policy. In September 2012, the European Commission opened an antitrust investigation relating to Gazprom's contracts in Central and Eastern Europe. Russia responded by enacting, also in September 2012, legislation hindering foreign investigations. In 2013, the poorest members of the EU usually paid the highest prices for gas from Gazprom. The Commission's investigation was delayed due to Russia's military intervention in Ukraine. In April 2015, The Hague accused Gazprom of unfair pricing and restricting competition. The European Commissioner for Competition, Margrethe Vestager, stated that all companies that operate in the European market, no matter if they are European or not, have to play by our EU rules. I am concerned that Gazprom is breaking EU antitrust rules by abusing its dominant position on EU gas markets. Gazprom said it was outside of the jurisdiction of the EU and described itself as a company which, in accordance with the Russian legislation, performs functions of public interest and has a status of strategic state-controlled entity. Lithuanian President Dalia Grybauskaitė said that the Kremlin was using Gazprom as a tool of political and economic blackmail in Europe. In October 2016, General Leonid Ivashov explained in Russian Channel 1 that Russia's engagement in the Syrian civil war was critical to prevent construction of hydrocarbon pipelines from Middle East to Europe, which would be catastrophic for Gazprom and, in turn, for the budget of Russian Federation. Russia strongly opposed the US-led 2003 invasion of Iraq. Some EU member states, including Poland and Britain, have agreed to join the United States in the coalition of the willing. The foreign ministers of Russia, France and Germany made a joint declaration that they will not allow passage of a UN Security Council resolution authorizing war against Iraq. The run-up to the 2013 Vilnius summit between the EU and its eastern neighbors saw what the Economist called a raw geopolitical contest, not seen in Europe since the end of the Cold War. As Russia attempted to persuade countries in its near abroad to join its new Eurasian Economic Union rather than sign association agreements with the EU, the Russian government under President Putin succeeded in convincing Armenia and Ukraine to halt talks with the EU and instead begin negotiations with Russia. Nevertheless, the EU summit went ahead with Moldova and Georgia proceeding towards agreements with the EU despite Russia's opposition. Widespread protests in Ukraine resulted in then-President Viktor Yanukovych leaving Ukraine for Russia in February 2014. Russia subsequently began a military intervention in Ukraine. This action was condemned as an invasion by the European Union. which imposed visa bans and asset freezes against some Russian officials. The Council of the European Union stated that Russia's violation of international law and the destabilization of Ukraine challenged the European security order at its core. Russia views some of the countries that applied to join the EU or NATO after the fall of the Iron Curtain as part of its sphere of influence. It has criticized their admission and frequently said that NATO is moving its infrastructure closer to the Russian border. The expansion of NATO into the Baltic states of Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, as well as the proposed accession of Georgia and Ukraine, are among RU.